This is the simple art journal that I made from one of the children's books that one of my kids had chucked out. So it's quite manageable, it's quite a slim one, and I did remove some of the pages and stuck some of the pages together. And I'm using this one for collage to play around with colour and composition. With the pages that I took out of books, I made a lot of collage material and I used that to make the compositions in this book, and I thought I would show you what I did in here. So it's quite basic, but this is the first page and there's a lot going on here, so it's quite busy. I did leave a little bit of white space, but there is a lot going on here. But I quite like this because using the colours and the collage material that I did, I thought it looked very wild animal, sort of, to me, it's, you know, the spots, the stripes, the sort of lion colour. I really like the neutrals, but I love that that red in between, and I really like the look of this. I also like this middle portion that I put in because of the scratching that I did in the surface of this particular piece of collage material. I thought sort of looks like you know, long grass, maybe that animals would be prowling through. So I really like this particular one, even though it's quite busy, and I have used it as a background for another experimental piece. So I photocopy when I do collage, or if I do sketches and I want, or paintings that I want to keep and I want to use over and over again because I want to experiment maybe with different layouts, different colour schemes and things like that. I'll photocopy them and then I will work on top of them. So I've already done that with this one. This is the next one I did, and although I don't particularly like this layout, actually I watched a video, somebody who was explaining different styles of different types of composition layout that could be used, and she was doing that in order to expand her own repertoire of paintings. And I listened to her and I thought about using one or two of her layouts, and this was the T that I sort of adapted what she was saying. And while I don't particularly like this layout, what I did like was the colour that I used. I didn't like it when I first put it on, but then I found this yellow piece and I really liked the way the yellow contrasts with the purple, so that came out of this one. This one again is sort of radiating out from a central point, but again I didn't like it when I did it, and what I did like was when I added this neutral piece here to split up the two, and I really like that. And obviously I've been keeping in my little pieces of paper that are keeping my pages together better, but I didn't particularly like this layout, but I think there's more I can do with it, so I will be photocopying these pages and probably using them for a little bit more experimentation. But I did like the way I split that up using the neutral piece in there. So, and I do like the colours, it's just, it was just a little bit too warmth going on, a bit too sun-like almost, and also it's a little bit too, I think because there are 4 elements in there, maybe that one sort of splits it up a little bit, and you know, it's like I was trying to be symmetrical but didn't quite make it. So not overly pleased with this one, but I think there's room for things to be done. And this one started off as an idea with sort of a landscape composition, but then I decided to add some not mirroring elements, but something above to sort of create a sort of slice through it, which I quite like. And what I particularly like in this is I did like this blue when I put it down, but what I particularly like was the blue and the orange together, and I just really like the way that worked. So this was a bit of an experiment when I was making the collage material, and I didn't actually like the piece of collage material when I'd finished it. I thought, you know, I just don't particularly like the colours together. I thought it looked a bit washy because there wasn't a lot of, although there's contrast in the colour, I felt like it blended a bit too much, but I really like it in here. So it just goes to show that collage material, it just depends on the application, doesn't it, really? So I really like the way this one came out, and I just added a little bit more of a similar piece down there. So I really like the texture that's going on, and also the white space in the middle. This one I particularly like, and I don't know why really, because all I did was use the one piece, and it's literally just, it's like a 3/4 of a page, and it is just to take a slice out of there and then another slice out of the piece that I took out of there. So, and I don't know why, but I just really like that. And I do want to play around a little bit more with the cutting out negative spaces and using the negatives for the pieces that I've cut out, and perhaps doing a little bit of not mirroring, I'm not sure what words I'm looking for here, but possibly looking at a little bit of symmetry. I do like folk art. I have seen a couple of videos as well with people doing, I can't remember the names of the YouTubers, but they were doing collage based on a particular artist, and if I can't remember what the name is, but I will add something to remind myself, hopefully, to put that in. Rex Ray, that was it. So some of the Rex Ray collage, and I would like to experiment with a little bit of that as well. Not that this is anything like that, but I would like to experiment a little bit more with that. So I quite like that, keeping it simple as well. And also it's another piece that I did with the blue and the orange, and that goes quite nicely with the brown that's keeping the pages together. So mainly blue, just a hint of the orange, and I think that works really well. I really like that. This one here, again, really basic, but I felt the need to just work with blocks. And I like the way that this one sort of just slants to the side, and then adding that little bit of purple there. So again, I really like that, the way those colours go together, and I do like the white around it. And this one again, so we've got a couple of colours here using the blue and the green. Not really a fan of this particular green, but I think it worked quite well with this blue. And again, I like the shape and the white space around everything. So I do actually quite like this page, and I think this has got quite a lot of potential. And my last page, which I felt a little bit lazy doing, but I really felt called to do this. It's literally just one of the pieces of collage material, just one of the pages that just has some stripes of green on, and then a few little pieces that obviously is, I was using up the bits from that, but I really like the way that works, and the fact that they are quite different. I think they look quite nice together because the colours are in harmony, even though the shapes, obviously the rectangle mirrors the rectangles in here and the stripes, but we do have a lot of space around there. So again, I really quite like that. And that's it. So that's my little, very small book of collages to just give me a few ideas for things that I want to do in the future, so I can reference this for future projects. And also it has given me a few ideas of things that I might like to work with in the future. So really basic, very childlike, really enjoyed doing it, and I hope you enjoyed seeing it. So thanks very much for joining me. See you again soon. Bye.